John, can you hear us?
I can. Can you hear me?
Ah, John! John! Great to have you here. Okay, let's see if we can get a picture of you. You're probably a bit further down the line. Yeah, there you are. Okay. So
That's an old picture.
it is an old picture. What, that must be, what, about a year old?
Yeah.
Okay. So, John, first of all, just put us back in the picture where it says there 25 deals in 6 months at 20 years old, where it says that. Just put the new picture on it. How many deals have you done? How long have you been in the VIP community? What's your income, etc.? Just give us the updated picture.
Okay, so that was including the deal that I'd just done, which was the big one I'll talk about later. But I've now done bought 26 properties, sold 2 of them for a profit of 15 grand each. The portfolio value is at £2 million, with 1.3 million of that is mortgages, so 700,000 equity.
Wow.
£4,500 net per month and 10k gross.
Happy with that?
Yes, fantastic.
Okay. I've seen your very nice grey with black wheels Audi TT. How did you pay for that?
That's paid for from my properties. Properties pay for it every month.
Sure. Okay. Awesome. Why did you get into property then? Take us back before that. What did you want to sort out in your life to get into property?
So I went through the whole Tony Robbins from the age of 12 years old. My dad has wanted me to be the next Branson, next Trump, whatever. And I've always wanted that myself, and I went through all these Tony Robbins, through all these different courses. And then I was 18 and I was working in a petrol station doing night shifts and stuff like that, and I didn't feel like I was getting to where I felt like I should be.
Okay.
So yeah, decided to sack that in and move in the right direction.
Okay, and why did you join the progressive community?
Came across you guys at one of your many events in Manchester. I really liked yours and Mark's enthusiasm for property, for the sector. I really liked the content you brought to the table. I thought it was better and more innovative than the competition, and I just felt like I got along with you guys.
Awesome. Okay. Right. So now let's go all the way back to the where are we going? Friends and family. So how much of your own personal hard-earned deposits did you put into those 26 deals to create the 10,000 gross, the 4,500 net, the 2 deals at £15,000 cash out? How much of your own personal money did you put into that?
Overall, I think I've put 15 grand in.
Okay. So 15 grand to get like a multi-million-pound portfolio.
Yeah, it seems like quite a good deal, really, doesn't it?
Yeah, sure. And that 15 grand, is that a deposit, or is that what you've spent on your training and education? Where's that been from?
That was inheritance money that had come to me, so I thought, well, I know what I'm doing now, so I put it into some property.
Okay. So pretty amazing leverage. Have you done any joint ventures?
Well, we're talking about joint ventures in regards with family. I've done a joint venture with my sister, both of my parents. Currently in the process of doing one with my uncle.
Yeah.
I've had quite a lot of joint venture capital be offered to me that I've not actually spoken to you about yet.
Okay.
That's in the very high 6 figures.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So let's park that because it sounds pretty big. Let's go back to the friends and family bit. So you've done, sounds like, multiple joint ventures with different family members. So you're very well qualified. What would your couple of tips, 2 or 3 top tips on JVing with friends and family? Should you, shouldn't you? How should you do it? What's important? What's most important to friends and family members in your experience?
I think for me it was go towards them with a business attitude. My parents, I've always been entrepreneurial, so my parents understand that I've got a business mindset, but I think you also need to take it to them as though you were taking it to another JV partner that isn't a friend or isn't family, and they need to see that you're serious about what you're actually about the proposal that you've got set in front of them. If you're not serious about it, they're not going to take it seriously, and they're just going to think you're going to throw the money at the wall. So
Okay, so treat it like a business.
yeah.
Okay, great. Anything else? How did you structure them? How's the money being made? Is there a company built around it? Is it 50-50 ownership between these family members? Just talk a bit about the structure.
Yeah, so as a family, we now have a company, Castor Property Developments, that we now buy properties within, partly for inheritance and things like that, but it also keeps all the money in one place, and we find we can recycle it with our relationships with the banks through that easier.
Okay.
So that's the way it's worked in that respect. With the one I'm working on with my uncle at the moment, obviously he's slightly outside of my immediate family, so that's more working on a basis of I'll negotiate you a big discount on the property you want, and you give me a percentage of that discount.
Okay, awesome. So there must be a lot of people listening with a little bit of envy. You're now, are you 21 yet?
Yeah, 21.
Okay, and you've gone out there and nailed it. You've got 4,500 net cash flow. You've got a multi-million-pound portfolio. You bought your boys' toys. So what would you say to anyone sitting on the fence? What's made the difference to you? Both from yourself and maybe how we've worked together. What would you say to people? You're clearly an example of how it can be done. Like you said yourself, you were just sort of losing your way, working petrol station, blah 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 blah. What's your top tips?
Sorry, you spoke so much, you confused me as to what I was going to say there.
Sorry, that's totally my bad. You've done amazingly well. You're very young. What would you say to people sitting on the fence wanting the same results?
If you're sitting on the fence, and I'd say do it. I mean, I went through the whole Burger King, the BP, all of that, and it was horrible. I'd never want to go back that way again. It was a case of sitting down and realizing where you are now and where you want to be or where you should be by now. I think that was the biggest thing for me, was seeing where I could have been, and obviously now looking back over the past year and a half, how different my life could be. And so I think for people that are sitting on the fence, just look at if you're comfortable right now, you could be a lot more comfortable. If you're not comfortable, then you need to change something.
Sure.
I think that was the biggest thing for me, is you only get what you put into life, and that's one of the things you've said to me about your different courses and so forth, is you only get out of them what you put in, and I think that applies to everything.
Sure. And like you said before, you've done a lot of sort of the personal development, Tony Robbins type courses. Obviously, you've done a lot of training with us. Has that been a good use of money? Has that been important to you?
Yeah, definitely. I've spent probably £50,000 over my lifetime on personal development, and I wouldn't change it for the world. I think it's I didn't go to university or anything like that. I chose to spend that money in a different avenue, and I find that it's been fantastic for me. And
sure.
Anyone listening, I'd recommend it wholeheartedly.
Okay. Your mates who you hang around with that aren't in the property world that are your age, are they earning as much money as you?
Nowhere near.
What cars are they driving?
Standard Fiesta 106.
Yeah.
Citroen C1 if they're lucky.
Okay. Cool. Right. Are you okay to stay on and we check in with you a bit later on, John? Is that all right?
Yeah, sure.
Excellent. Thank you.
Cheers.
Wow. Love catching up with John. Okay, so charity balls. Where can I find these JV partners? Okay, so we talked about friends and family. Go to charity balls. Now, the great thing about going to charity balls, now I'm going to speed up the content, by the way. So I know we've had lots of questions. I'll check in every now and again. I'm going to make this faster and faster. I'm going to give you more and more. So if you need a quick coffee, let's just get on with it. So charity balls. Mark and myself and many people in the progressive community have done joint ventures at charity balls. We have a charity ball at Progressive Property every year. The great thing about charity balls is the people that go there, they're either got money or they're looking for money, so it's a perfect kind of joint venture environment. You know who the people with the money are because they're the people who are bidding on everything. Just to give you an example, some crazy bloke there in that little thumbnail picture next to £2,500 question mark paid £2,500 for Russell Crowe's arrow from Robin Hood. Yeah, I was the gullible one because of my, you know, okay, I'm just going to be frank and honest with you there. My ego was putting my hand up every time at this charity auction. This arrow in a box. It didn't even have any blood on it at the start, so it probably wasn't the real arrow. The Robin Hood, no disrespect to you know, Russell because he's a great actor, but the Robin Hood that he was in was crap. The better one was the Kevin Costner one, and I don't have that arrow. It's a prop that probably cost £10, and I paid £2.5 grand for it. Now, anyone seeing me there probably would have been rubbing their hands together about looking to joint venture with me, because if I'm spending that much money on a stupid arrow, you know, where else is my money going? And when you go to charity, I used to think that these kind of things were just for really rich, pompous people, but that was my limiting belief back then. The reality is that's where you meet wealthy people, and they get drunk, which is a perfect little Dutch courage opening for them and for you. Great place to meet JV partners. I've seen it happen time and time again. Come to our charity balls, go to charity balls. You go into enough of them, you'll bump into enough money. List and database rental. So this is another one of this is number 16 of 16. Now, again, I'm going to give you a specific strategy here. So these are places where to find JV partners. In fact, let me give you the contact information. So let me just bring up the questions tab. Yep, okay. So the company is called Highlight. I'm just making a note of it and sending it to you all. And the family, the Chantry, C-H-A-N-T-R-Y family who run that business, they're basically probably the largest, best, most accessible as well publishing house in the UK. So any kind of postal direct mail, any kind of joint venture emails, any emails you might have been sent on behalf of someone that you've received offering you a product or a service has possibly come through them. Now, it's all permission-based marketing. This is not spamming. It's important to say. But if you go and network around the country and you go to charity balls and everything else, that's great. It's personal. You can touch and feel people. It's really important to do that personal part. But, you know, there's your time, petrol, food, money, time away from your kids, your family. Let's say over a month you invest £600 and 20 of your hours into going to these events. Well, what if you took £600 and you went to Highlight and you said, I want to meet people between the ages of 45 and 55 who are women, who are CEOs or higher level corporate people who have £500,000 or more in net liquid assets, who have shown an interest in property over the last 6 months or have bought a property-related training or product, blah-de-blah-de-blah, who live in these postcodes. You can literally be as specific and targeted as that, and you can rent or buy contacts of specific types of potential JV partners. And you can be as specific as you want. Now, if you say you want women between the age of 51 and 51 and a half, you know, with 3 arms, they might not have that many people on their database, but they have access to millions of people. And if you want the sort of the typical demographic, which is kind of like 45 to 55-year-old people who've shown an interest in property over the last year, who've got a house that they own, who've got 1 or more investment properties or whatever, you're probably talking tens of thousands of people that you could contact. And you literally, what we do in this industry, it's called pay per lead. PPL or CPL, cost per lead. And you know what, that's not right for some people. If you're more of a people person and you want to go and meet people in the flesh, touch them, you know, get a feeling for the trust, the connection, this is probably not right for you. But if you're more of a techie-based person, if you're busy, if you want to be able to leverage this and get a virtual assistant, or you want to outsource this is a great way for you to generate lots of leads, have appointments outsourced, so you just go and do meetings and you cut straight to the chase. Depends on you and your strategy. But it's one of the 16 ways, now many of you on this webathon is a great example of that, because most of you on this webathon are new people to Progressive Community, and we found you either through a joint venture with Residential Landlord or anyone like that, or Angels Media, Property Investor Today, and we've partnered with them, and sometimes we've paid them to get in touch with you. And so it's a live example of how it works, and works really well for the right type of person or business. Okay, great. So if you have any questions, that's great. Now, one of the problems with us going through all of this is the time. It's going to take me about 20 hours to deliver this whole blueprint to you. And hey, I'm prepared to do it. The longest webinar I've ever run is about an hour and 45 minutes, and I'm going to be doing 3 hours tonight. And I could be at home with my 1-year-old son, who I play golf with. I could be at home with my beautiful girlfriend, and doing these things. But, I do this one because I love to do it, and I want to commit the time. I want to show you, that we really can work together. We can joint venture together. I joint venture with a lot of the people on the Progressive Community, like Peter Ivanishevsky, on the joint venture program. And I want to give you that time, but I can't give it to you all. If I sent you an email saying, we're doing a 20-hour webathon on raising joint ventures and we'll give you everything, you just wouldn't be able to commit the time. You want to feel us out. You want to get to know us, trust us, see if we're right for you. We're not right for everyone. I understand that, and that's fine. So, but I want to give you a chance to be able to take the next step. And because of that, I'd like to let you know of something with your permission that's coming up. Now, by the way, there's no pitch. I'm not going to pitch this. I don't need to sell it. I'm just going to inform you of it. All you have to do is let me know if you're interested. If you're not, just don't say anything. If you are, give me your name, email, and phone number in the questions tab. So send it to me. Just say, Rob, I'm interested. Here's my name. Here's my email. Here's my, phone number. We need a phone number. We're not going to be selling any details. We're not going to be spamming you. But, you're basically putting your hand up and saying, I'm interested in joint ventures. I'm serious. I want to go out there and find people who've got money. I want to be in a community of people who've got money. I've got deals. I need people with money. And you're taking this seriously. So that's all I say. So the Progressive Property Joint Venture Consultation Day. Now, this is something that we have previously. Now, you wouldn't know this, but we've had around about 200 or 300 people that have been on this private day. Many of those in the earlier days paid £5,000 for this day. Now, what this day is as you can see from the picture, it's not some huge event, multi-speaker pitch fest thing. It's not an impersonal day. This is actually a meeting room in our offices in Peterborough. And basically what this day is the whole joint venture strategies from A to Z. If you've liked what you've learned so far, we're going to give you the whole blueprint in detail, nuts, bolts, specifics. As you can see from there, there'll be 14 other people who are as committed as you to doing joint ventures. Many of the people, by the way, who come to this, they don't just come with the deal, they come with the money. Now, I can already see people sending name, email, and phone number. Fatima, thank you for that. That's great. I'm actually going to make you a special offer on this, but if you send your name, email, and phone number, it doesn't automatically charge your credit card. Don't worry. But on Wednesday, the 19th of September, or Wednesday, the 26th, strictly limited to 15 people. You can see me in the corner there in my stripy shirt. That's my business partner, Mark. His head at the bottom right. You actually get us up close and personal. We charge our time out at tens of thousands of pounds when we do, one-to-ones or consultation days. Again, I don't say that to brag or anything like that. Mark and I are in our 30s. We're still growing and developing. We're only a short road down where we want to be in our business, but we have made many millions of pounds for ourselves and many of our investors. And I think you'd agree that specific time, us unwiring and repackaging for you the £25 million of JVs we've done, would be really beneficial for you. As well on this, what we're going to do, and you'll love this, we're going to one-to-one, but within the group. So you each get one-to-one time where we answer your questions, your pains, your needs about joint ventures, and Mark and I give you consultation, and the group, we do like a mastermind strategy session. It's unbelievable. Honestly, this will change